Hey guys, Moose here. Welcome back to another episode of Life is Feudal Forest Village. Continuing our stairway to heaven here. Kind of happy we have two going at once. I don't trust my ability to eyeball that anymore. I really hope that second one's on track. God, these walls are cool. I should have played with them before. They're pretty sweet. I don't totally know how this is going to work. It's going to be a little weird, but we'll figure it out. Worst case scenario, like I said, we'll put a tower at the end, and if anything tries to go through, it'll just get shot, so you know, whatever. I think now is time for the gate. Oh, we'll do one more wall. Alright, we're in good shape here. So, I am exhausted to the point of... I don't even know, man. I've been running on, like... For work for a while now, I've been kind of just... doing what I must, because if I don't, no one will. So, basically, I kind of just need to do the work. Well, that's bad. It's not necessarily that I don't have a choice. It's more that it needs to be done correctly. It'll be more of a problem for me if I let someone else do it because they're going to do it wrong. And I'm going to be the one who has to deal with it. So I kind of took on more than I should. I talked about this before. So it's stressful, but I've been kind of like pushing myself to finish that and work on that and just push through it and then take PTO when I'm done, basically, so that I can recover. I know from experience it's not going to be enough for me to recover. Like, I'm still going to be wasted, but at least it's something, right? And I can probably, like... I'm probably going to go to my boss and be like, hey, you know what I did, right? You're going to give me some free PTO here, right? You're going to give me some extra days where I can just not show up. So I'm hoping to get some of that, but I'll ask. I got a, to be fair, I got a 7.5% raise this year, so I got something. But I think that had more to do with them not really paying me that much to begin with for what the job is. So it was more like an adjustment so that I don't jump ship, because... Okay, so I'm not... This isn't like a, oh look at me, I'm so smart thing, but I'm pretty sure that I could almost double my income if I just jumped ship to Apple or Google. One of the beautiful things about working in the Bay Area, even Tesla I could actually go to, probably. I don't want to go to Tesla for reasons that I'm not going to get into, but there's a lot of jobs around here if you know what you're doing, and thankfully I have job experience to point to and say, hey, look, I know what I'm doing. So I don't really want to do that, though, is the thing. I would prefer to stay at my current job, so I'm happy they gave me that raise. Anyway, point is, like, I've been kind of pushing myself further than I'd like to, and sort of running on fumes for a while, and it's just kind of going further down that road. So I need the payoff of PTO at some point here, but yeah, I went to see Infinity War with Karen today, despite that exhaustion, and yeah, there we go. It's kind of nice. Like, I don't want to go all the way, I just want to get like a little bit of an incline there. That should do it. Even it out a little bit. So yeah, anyway, we went to see Infinity War. It was, basically, to recap, if you didn't watch, I talked about it in the Battletech episode because I recorded that first, but I'm not going to spoil anything. Just to be clear up front, no spoilers whatsoever. I'm not even going to hint at anything that's a spoiler. But basically, I didn't really like it, but I totally understand that probably most people don't care about the reasons that caused me to dislike it. Or at the very least, they don't yet. So I'm content to I can make a compelling argument that it was bad. Or not bad, but not as good as it could have been. I can make a very compelling argument, but I can't do it without spoiling, and also it doesn't matter anyway, because everyone should have their own opinion, and, you know, if you enjoy the movie, enjoy the movie. There's plenty of stuff that's dumb and stupid that I enjoy, and that's fine. Everyone should have their right to enjoy what they want to enjoy. I'm not gonna try to police other people's fun, so if you liked it, that's, you know, that's cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm just saying I didn't, and that's okay. I don't have to enjoy it. Alright, let's get these upgraded. I know we're not done building the other ones anyway, but whatever. Get started at least. We have the manpower, more or less. How are we doing here? Harvesting's going well. I want to get the flax moving a little quicker. Honestly, we don't need the flax anymore. We have so much. I think I was doing this last video. We don't really know what to grow because we don't actually need anything. We seriously don't need anything. Not food, not resources, nothing. God, we already have 215. Where's leather? Oh, it's hide, not leather. I'm stupid. But yeah, I don't know. One day I'll talk about it and explain why I didn't like it. Or, well, that's not even fair. It's not even that I didn't like it. I enjoyed watching the movie. It wasn't that it wasn't fun at all. That's not really it so much. It's more that... Well, I'm trying to think, like, I don't want to say anything. There were basically there are things about it I didn't like. Let's leave it there. And it was still fun. It visually incredibly beautiful movie. There's so many scenes, so many like little bits in the movie that were just stunningly beautiful and amazing to see. Things that as a kid I would have never imagined that I'd be able to see something and have it be like, hey, look, this is real. This isn't just some kid scribbling on a piece of paper. Like, this looks real, and it looks incredible. Many, many, many scenes that were just stunning and beautiful. That's not the part that I had an issue with. So, it's an amazing work of art, for sure. So I would honestly, overall, you know what? I don't know why I'm kind of going in circles here. I would recommend seeing it if you're at all into any of the Marvel movies. I think I probably got more out of it than most people because I'm actually into the comics and everything. So there's things that I know about the characters that make some aspects of it more interesting than they probably would be if you're not interested in the comments. Or sorry, interested in the comics. So that was nice, but I mean, that's every Marvel movie, they do that, so it's not like that's something new or anything. Who do I even like? Yeah, I don't know. I'd say Spider-Man. I'm not speaking, I want to be clear, I'm not speaking about Infinity War. Right now, I'm just kind of thinking about the Marvel movies in general. I think right now, the best written characters, the most entertaining characters are their funny ones. Like Spider-Man is incredible. Thor is definitely... Thor was like kind of garbo for the first two movies. I think everyone kind of agrees about that. And Thor Ragnarok is incredible. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Pick up the DVD. I just kind of like... I was at Target one day and I kind of saw the DVD racks, and I was like, oh, hey, there's movies. Like, you can buy movies. I was like, I wonder how much they cost. It's like, 15, 20 bucks. That's kind of a bit, but then it's like 13 bucks to go get a ticket. I mean, that's what I paid, 13 each for Infinity War today. So I was like, yeah, you know, maybe that's like pretty good, okay deal. Like, maybe that's fine. Maybe 15 bucks for a DVD that I can just watch over and over. And then I watched something that kind of talked about the Thor Ragnarok director's commentary that was hilarious. So I was like, yeah, okay, let's do this. So I picked up both John Wick's, Logan, which we haven't watched those yet, but we watched Spider-Man Homecoming and Thor Ragnarok. highly recommend you get those two. If you haven't watched them and you're at all interested in the Marvel movies, they're fantastic movies. Both for kind of different reasons. Thor Ragnarok is a hilarious, it's just stunning movie. The artistic direction that they took with it is amazing. It's just fantastic. There's so many little moments with really bright, vibrant colors. It's just great. And then it's a very funny movie too on top of that. So they've done a really good job with that character recently. I mean, you probably don't need me to tell you that. I'm assuming most of you have probably seen the movie, or at least seen some of the media talking about how, well, they took it a different direction. It's more funny and lighthearted now, and it's fantastic. And it is. Those are all things that are true. And Spider-Man is sort of similar, but a little bit different. It's not really the same. So I'm kind of glad that Marvel has done a very good job of saying, hey, we're going to make a movie, and it's going to have comic book characters, but it's not... We're not really making a superhero movie. I mean, you're by definition making a superhero movie, but I think what really works for them, and what's been really fantastic from a story perspective, is when they go for humor. Because in my mind, comic books are inherently funny. They're necessarily ridiculous. They have to be. They're comic books. Come on, of course they're ridiculous. Like, that's... How could they not be, right? So when you get something like Deadpool's a really good example. Deadpool's like the adult version of it. That's fantastic. It's just... Even if they hadn't nailed the character, it's a funny freaking movie, man. It's a great movie. And that kind of stuff... I feel like that used to be what people would see as taking a chance. Oh, I forgot about the Stairway to Heaven. Oops. We should see how far we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we got a while to go. We need 10 total, so 4 more. I feel like you could, like, if you're looking at what to approve if you're making movies, right? Probably Deadpool would be seen as risky in the past. I think at this point you kind of have to say, well, no, a movie like Deadpool isn't risky. A movie like Deadpool is guaranteed money. A movie like The Dark Knight Rises or Batman Begins. It's Batman Begins. Why was I thinking Dark Knight Rises? I forget. All those movies have such similar names. I forget them all. The Batman movies. You know the ones I'm talking about. Specifically Batman Begins, though. I think making a Batman Begins type movie where it's serious, that's the risk now. That's the risky play. At this point, you go for comedy. Because it's inherently ridiculous. You know, everyone got their payoff of like, okay, serious man in tights has a super-powered fist fight through a giant city. Like, okay, we've seen that. Great. We've seen that with modern technology. Like, there's nothing that's going to be brought to the table for that that's new and interesting. You're just not going to do it. Where do you have Superman? No one really... It wasn't that great. Because it's... You know, it's not interesting. Having stuff like a talking raccoon and basically everything that Thor is, where it's so just utterly ridiculous. And Deadpool, where he's cracking jokes and like he knows he's in a movie. It's like a superhero documentary. Oh man, that would be amazing. Where it's like, what if they did an entire Spider-Man movie where it's just Peter Parker's videos? And I think that would be a really good, maybe slightly low-budget superhero movie, and I think you could do that with Spider. And that's the other thing I don't really get. Like, you could do that. Like, couldn't you? Couldn't you do like a low-budget Spider-Man that's just Spider-Man kind of doing whatever? You don't have to invest in like it doesn't have to be crazy. You just have like, hey, this is Peter Parker doing a bunch of random shit. Like, doing his thing. Give him some small stories. Like, give him it doesn't, like, don't need to format it like anything in particular. It doesn't need to be a TV show. Just, you could put it on Netflix. You could do any kind of thing. You could even put it all together and do it as a movie. There's so much that they could do. I feel feel like they've started kind of hitting on the edge of thinking outside the box and saying, let's do some crazy shit and see how hilarious it is and how much people enjoy it, and it's succeeding like every time. And I really want them to take that like 20 steps further and just say, fuck the rules, we're gonna have some fun with this, because it's inherently ridiculous, so why wouldn't you? And just say, oh, look, you've got good writers, you've got fantastic characters. Like, no one... I really think it's fair to say that no one ever got Spider-Man as accurately as they did with Homecoming. There is no Spider-Man media anywhere that is as good as Homecoming. It's just... It nails exactly what that character should be, in my opinion. And it's just so perfect for that. That... Screw this. Bank on it. Like, have some fun with this, man. You've got a fantastic actor. He's so good at portraying that character. You've got a great setting for him. Have some fun with it, right? Like... I know people are really protective of their IP and stuff, and they're like, oh, I don't want to damage the brand, we got a whole, like, 30-point plan about every movie that's going to come out until 2030. I get it. But, like, let's have some fun. This character is amazing. Let's not squander it. Anyway, that's how I kind of feel about it. But yeah, if you can't tell, I'm pretty happy about the current state of movies. Marvel movies, anyway. DC's kind of shit in the bed, but that's DC's signature move. They're just not... they're kind of not good. I'm sorry, I don't want to be mean, but, like... Batman's super popular, I get it. Fine. But he's so boring! Like, it's... What, he's just a dude with money who's really good at, like, kind of everything for no particular reason. He's just, like, smart and rich and connected and everything else. And I'm just kind of bored of it. And Superman is kind of the same sort of person. Like, I don't think there's an interesting story to tell there anymore. I know that's gonna piss some people off, but I just don't think there's... I don't know that there's anything that interesting and amazing in the DC universe at this point that I want to see on screen. They're just... Maybe, like, some Constantine stuff? Because, honestly, the Constantine movie was real good. I'm trying to see... I can't tell if this is lined up right. I think it is. The Constantine movie was pretty damn good, in my opinion. But it also was, like, not at all a comic book anything. It just wasn't. But I don't know. I want to see, like, a real X-Men set of movies, like, appropriately in the Marvel Universe. So much more than I want to see anything having to do with DC. There's so many more things to be excited about, in my opinion, on the Marvel side than there is on the DC side. They're just... DC is the mold, but like, you know, Superman, Batman, like, that's... If you're thinking superhero, that's definitely where you'd think first, I would say. But they're also the boring... Like, it's... Yeah, Bread was the original, you know, there's... The vanilla is the original option. I know vanilla is a bad example, but, like, the basic option was the original, but we've learned a lot since then, and we can do it better. That's kind of where I stand right now, basically. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. There's so many characters I could point to in Marvel that I would love to see adapted and worked on, and I'm sorry, I just can't say the same about DC. It's just so bland. It's too real, you know? It's reality, it feels like. And that's not interesting. And also, they don't... Marvel makes movies that have superheroes. DC makes superhero movies, I guess. And the distinction is that when you're watching a Marvel movie, there's usually plot and, like, stuff going on that's relatable and real. Like, people have talked about this before, like, Ant-Man is a heist movie. What was... There was a few other examples. Stuff like that, where like the movies fit into a particular archetype that already exists. You know what you're watching. Like you understand the context, and there's something to relate to there and enjoy. But then you also have superheroes, so there's a lot of extra material to kind of riff on and have fun with. And it gives it a more interesting setting. But the core of the movie retains kind of human elements and interaction and real stuff that's so much better than the way DC tends to do it, I guess. I don't know, nothing about the DC stuff grabs me. Anyway, I didn't mean for this episode to just be shitting on DC, that wasn't my intention, but it kind of went out that way. So I apologize if you're a DC fan, I just prefer the Marvel stuff personally. It's just better in my book. And there's more of it, so I don't have to wait as long. Deadpool 2 is coming up right around the corner, can't wait to watch that. Anyway, oh, by the way, actually, yeah, Cable and Domino are two of my favorite characters. I like Deadpool a lot, but I like Cable and Domino quite a bit. I don't necessarily totally like the current adaptation of Domino in the movie, but I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really say that. I hope they do her justice, I guess, because she's a really cool character, I think. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you'll join us for the next one as well. If you did enjoy it, there's always twitch.tv/electronicmoose. I stream every Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, 6 to 8 p.m. PST, 9 to 11 p.m. EST. Feel free to come by and check it out. But if you prefer to watch here on YouTube, I appreciate that all the same. So, like I said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.